It's Ash from Super Videos, back for another video for Season 10 of The Walking Dead. This is going to be my episode predictions for the upcoming episode, Season 10 Episode 6, which is called Bonds. As always, I'm going to look at the trailers and the pictures that were released and make some speculation about what we might see. And then from there, I'm going to take a look at the synopsis that was released and then use that to see what additional information we can gather. So, based on the pictures that were released, which I will do a separate video on as well, and also based on the trailer that they released, this episode is going to concentrate on two stories, which might actually come together by the end of the episode. Depends on where they want to go with the story. But one part of this episode is going to concentrate on Negan. So it's going to basically carry on from where we left off at the end of last episode. Of course, Negan crossed into Whisperer territory, hoping to find one of the Whispers and to find his way inside the Whispers camp, and there's a possibility that he wants to infiltrate the camp to do some damage from the inside. So that happened at the end of last episode. He found the Whispers. So what we're going to see in this episode is Beta and the other Whispers that were there are going to take Negan back to their camp. Now, we still don't know why Beta didn't immediately kill Negan, so they have to explain that. I hope they don't skip that. I hope they actually show us why Beta would actually not kill Negan. What's Beta's strategy? What's his reasoning for not killing Negan? So I just hope that they actually show us that. They explain exactly what is on Beta's mind and why he didn't just kill Negan on the spot. And that actually leads me to think that we're actually going to pick up where we left off. We might not pick up from there at the beginning of the episode, but when we first see Negan in this episode, it will most likely be that exact scene that we left off on at the end of last episode. So then, Beta and the Whispers are going to take Negan back to their camp. We know that because of the trailer and the sneak peek that they released. The sneak peek shows us them on their way to the camp. Negan makes some jokes and things like that. It's hilarious. You should check it out if you haven't already. I did a video on that as well. But the sneak peek basically tells us that Beta and the Whispers that were there are going to take Negan to their camp. Now, how do we know they actually take him to the camp? Well, that's in the trailer. In the trailer, we clearly see Negan with Beta and the Whispers at the Whispers camp. Alpha shows up to see what Negan is all about. Now, there's also something in the trailer that is very interesting. So it seems like Beta is not going to trust Negan, and he has a good reason not to. What Alpha is going to order him to do is to test Negan. That was actually in the trailer. So that's going to be a part of the story as well. But I'm not sure exactly how they're going to test Negan, but that's going to be part of the episode most likely. And by the end of this episode, we might actually have a scenario where Negan is put in a situation where he's tested. And let's see if he can get out of that. And let's see what he's going to do from there. If he is left with a decision to kill someone in order to gain their trust, I don't know whether he's going to do that. So I'm super excited and interested to see what they're going to test Negan on and whether Negan actually passes or not. But that's going to be one major part of the story, like I said. But the other major part of the story is going to concentrate on Carol. So based on the trailer again, and based on the synopsis, which I'll look at, we know Carol is going to want to go on a mission. And her mission is, based on the trailer, to find Alpha's horde and destroy it. Now, we do know that Daryl finds Carol on her way out, and he basically wants to tag along. Carol most likely doesn't want Daryl to tag along, but she's probably left with no choice. So Daryl and Carol go on this mission to find Alpha's horde. Whether they're successful in that or not, that remains to be seen. Now, the other part of it is I don't exactly know how Carol wants to destroy the herd when she finds it. So I hope they actually explain that. And I hope Carol has some good reasoning behind her mission. But I think what we're going to most likely see at the end of this episode, or by the end of this episode, is a scenario where Daryl and Carol, or just Carol, might be trapped. Or they might find themselves stuck at the Whispers camp, or near where the Whispers are. And that might be where Negan comes in. And we might actually see Negan and Carol's paths cross. Now, we don't know if Daryl's going to be in the mix or not as well, so that's another thing to keep in mind. But I think by the end of this episode, there's an opportunity, or a possibility, I should say, that they might integrate these two main story arcs that I just went through. And they might actually kind of make them come together and merge by the end of the episode. Now, aside from that, we're also going to visit Alexandria. We know that based on the pictures, as well as based on the synopsis, which I will look at in a few minutes. But one story we're going to see at Alexandria is related to Eugene. Based on the pictures and the trailer, we do know that Eugene is going to try to communicate with someone through the radio. And there's going to be a voice that's going to come in saying hello. So that's very, very interesting and exciting for comic readers. For comic readers, we know what's coming, we know what to expect, but for non-comic readers, pay close attention to Eugene's story in this episode, because his story and what that sets up is very, very critical in the story arc that we're going to have after the Whisperer's story arc is over, which is most likely going to be midway this season or around there. And that's pretty much what I think we're going to see as far as the three main kind of stories or plots, two of which are going to be integrated or intertwined, like I said. Now, looking at the plot reads, Carol and Daryl go on a mission together. We talked about that before, so there's nothing to discuss there. While Siddiq struggles to solve a mystery. Now, that's extremely interesting. What is the mystery? Not sure. It could be related to Eugene and what his story is going to focus on, or it could be something completely different. But that's pretty much everything that I wanted to cover in this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video. If you like what you see, press like, subscribe for more content, and press the bell button to receive notifications for daily uploads.